What is going on, everyone? This is Eric coming at you from just outside of Hartford, Connecticut, and today we are going to look at the Milan Lucic trade, which occurred back on June 26th, 2015. Now, this trade was between the Los Angeles Kings and the Boston Bruins, and it saw the Kings acquire left wing Milan Lucic from Boston in exchange for goaltender Martin Jones, defenseman Colin Miller, and the 13th overall pick in the 2013 draft. So, how did this trade work out for the two teams? We will start with the LA Kings. So the Kings obviously got Milan Lucic. And Lucic had a strong season for the Kings in which he recorded 20 goals and 35 assists along with 244 hits. Now that's what Lucic did. He got a lot of hits, but he was also a very good goal scorer who would pass the puck around as well. Now, unfortunately for the Kings, he would walk after the single season, so that was all they got out of him. Now, in return, Boston got three valuable assets. So goaltender Martin Jones was a restricted free agent, and Boston literally said, okay, and they traded him away after only a couple of days. So they would trade him to the San Jose Sharks in exchange for center Sean Kuraly and a 2016 first-round pick. So Sean Kuraly has been a decent depth piece since debuting late during the 2016-17 season. Now, he's kind of been that type of player where he's a third liner today, then he's a fourth liner, then he's a scratch, then he's a third liner. So, yeah, he hasn't been having the best 2021 campaign, unfortunately. Now, that 2016 first-round pick would become the 29th overall pick in that draft, and that would be utilized on center Trent Frederic. And Frederic had a very minor role in both 2018-19 and the 2019-20 campaigns. Now, he's been a decent fourth liner in the 2021 campaign. Now, other than Jones, the Bruins also acquired defenseman Colin Miller. And Colin Miller was called up midway through the 15-16 campaign. Now, he would record 3 goals and 13 assists over 41 games. Now, the next year, he would record 6 goals. And then they end up leaving him exposed during the expansion draft, and the Vegas Golden Knights would pick him. So that was the end of his tenure in Boston. Now, that 13th overall pick in the 2015 draft would be used on defenseman Jakub Zboril, and Zboril himself, he's been a decent second, third line defenseman. Now, he played a little bit in the 2020 season, but most of it's going to be the 2021 season. So he's been a decent player. He hasn't been elite, but he's still young, so there's still a lot of room to grow for him. So that's these two teams, Boston and LA. How about San Jose? So they would get goaltender Martin Jones rights, and they would immediately sign him to a contract extension. And he immediately stepped in as a starter. And he was a good starter on a very good San Jose team. So he had a 37-23-4 record with a .918 save percentage in the 15-16 campaign. Now, he also had 6 shutouts that year. And his strong play would continue into the playoffs as the team would make a run to the Stanley Cup Final, which they would unfortunately lose. He did record 3 shutouts in those playoffs. Now, the next year, he had a 35-23-6 record with a .912 save percentage. And the year after that, he had a 30-22-6 record with a .915 save percentage. Now, in the 2018-19 season, he had a 36-19-5 record. However, it was with an .896 save percentage. Now, he would regress a little bit more record-wise in the 2019-2020 campaign as the Sharks themselves struggled as a whole, but he did maintain that .986 save percentage. And 2021 has been more of the same for him. He's kind of struggling a little bit, but it's also the Sharks that are just struggling. He has been maintaining a similar save percentage too, so it looks like he's going to be a 900 save percentage guy from here on out. Still, honestly, this trade worked out for all 3 teams. Of course, the Kings wish that they had kept Lucic, but fact of the matter is, at least they didn't give him that atrocious contract. Boston gets some good pieces, of course. They still have 3 of these guys on their team. And the Sharks got themselves a good few seasons and maybe a bounce back from Martin Jones. So, good trade for everybody. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Have a good rest of your day.